about what that person said that certain day. I mean, generally, imagine yourself being in a group of people, for example, your own friends, and you're talking about that passionate, popular topic that you enjoy so much, but suddenly that person barges in and tells that he or she doesn't like it. And that is what seems to be bothering me. Why do people pretend to not like something just because of its popularity? Is it because of stereotypes? Is it because of that person's insecurity of not being cool enough? And that is why today I want to talk about conformity and anticonformity. So, what is conformity itself? It is a psychological concept that states that a person, in order to fit into a group, changes his or her belief or behavior, which in turn grants that person a favor or help in the future. So, the concept is not actually new. People have been behaving that way for centuries and for thousands of years. It is quite revolutionary. But nowadays, everything has completely changed. People don't want to be people want to be different. They do not want to fit into a group or behave like the group. But in most cases, it is not because of justice or injustice, but it is because of the tendency or the trend of not wanting to be the same as others. So, since myself, I have been in many similar situations in my life where a person tries to seem different by not liking a certain thing, and I want to recall one of them. Well, as you all probably know, a film producing company, Marvel, came out with a new movie called Endgame. And the whole world was so excited for the movie, and everyone went to the theater to see the movie, including my friends and I. And not too long after, we were discussing the movie with a few other friends, and one of those people suddenly said that he has not seen the movie but already dislikes it. And soon I found out that he rather likes the movies that not many people have seen, even if it doesn't have a deep meaning at all. And I have thought a lot about that statement. Does it really mean that if you hate popular things, it automatically makes you an interesting person? And that is why I also came up with a few reasons why that being an anticonformist is worse than being a conformist. Well, the first reason is that I mentioned a couple of times before, that hating popular things does not make you an interesting person. Well, in this case, let's not confuse different as different, meaning meaningful, individualistic, and truthful. Different, in this case means something completely and utterly different. And, well, those people, anticonformists, look at others as sheep following each other as a pile. But at the same time, anticonformists conform to other anticonformists, which means that they're also losing their individuality or their true identity. And if we're speaking from a psychological view, we may say that they get carried away with their ego too much, which coincides with them losing their own self-awareness. And probably you have heard of the quote, "Rules are meant to be broken." And who has not followed that principle? Can you raise your hand? Few people. And also, anticonformists are seen to follow that principle a lot. They rebel because they want to be known as individuals in a society where people are known as collectivists. But that is why I connected it to the second reason. The second reason is that anticonformists conform to the other anticonformists, meaning that they're also part of a group and they're also controlled. Because anticonformists always behave the opposite way of the mass that they dislike, meaning that by such way they're also controlled. And nowadays, in modern times, we always think about how we want to be different from other people. We think about our appearance, our speech, our intelligence, and other various acts, but we never really think about how much easier and simpler it would be to show our real selves to our surroundings. But we instead put our effort into doing something that is not important at all, and it just wastes our time. And after a lot of analyzing, I have put my mind into a right place and realized that instead of putting effort into something that is meaningless, it is better to put effort into something that is very, very important and meaningful to me. And I myself have been an anticonformist, and I think most of the people in this at our conference have been also anticonformists, because everyone in their life has their phase where they're trying to be different. For example, me, I have dyed my hair, chopped it all off, wore weird clothes just because I wanted to seem different in other people's eyes, but have never really thought about how and who am I? Who am I as a real person, and how can I find myself? And after a lot of time, I have worked on myself and found a real person. And I have also found out that being cool was not an individualistic trait. And a real individual is a person who tries to find their truth behind themselves and inspires others to find a real way. Not because he or she is cool, but because they want others to find a real way themselves and be unique. And I meaningfully found out that being in a society where everyone is trying to be an anticonformist, being a conformist is the greatest anticonformity. Thank you.